Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable one.
Me.
Eddie Palmieri on the piano. Nelson Gonzalez on el cuatro. Mr. Quan Jasper on second mic.
Hey.
Yours truly, Sweet Louis Hidalgo.
Can I get some volume?
You're listening to the Latin Jazz and Salsa Show. Así es que empezamos el programa nosotros los sábados here on WHAP 96.9 FM, 1340 on your AM dial. En punto, mi gente. El 4 tocando Eddie Palmieri. That was in the 1995 Latin Jazz Festival, Canada. I don't know if it's Quebec or Toronto, but it's out there. Se bota el hombre. Quan, what's happening, bro?
Not much. It's a beautiful day. It's supposed to be raining. But we dodged a wet bullet, if you will. Excuse me.
And, we're getting ready for dinner, ¿verdad? Nos estamos preparando para el dinner.
Yes, I love to eat.
We're getting ready for the dinner, the award dinner at the Hilton Richmond downtown. What award is that, bro? I don't want to toot my own horn. I do enough of that. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't do that. It's bad on the knees, bro.
It's bad on the knees, tooting to the own horn, bro.
Yeah. So I believe it is the prestigious Taino
Nation Award.
Taino Nation Award.
Yeah, man.
Taino Nation Entertainment.
Yeah.
Tane. They named it
That's right.
Tane, yes. Event of the year for the 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
2021 event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's about time, right?
Yeah, ya son un buen tiempo, and it was amazing to me.
Yeah, no. The more people that know about it, it's just gonna snowball from here. The more people that know about it, the more people they're gonna want to come. And then now this year we're broadcasting.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of larger audience, so we may graduate from Dogwood Dell here really soon.
Yeah. It is absolutely awesome. You know, we're gonna have DJ Rudy Rivera from Bachata Fridays. Is that what it's called? Bachata Night Fridays.
RVA Bachata.
RVA Bachata, right? On Fridays.
Yes, at Numa.
Numa, yeah.
Numa, yeah.
That's right. And I had one of those removed.
Yeah. Oh wow! Was it the size of a golf ball or a cantaloupe?
You're listening to the best in Latin jazz and salsa. Eddie Palmieri in the house.
Hey,
Empezamos el programa with a little bit of incantation, levantando los espíritus, llamando the spirits on the Latin Jazz and Salsa Show.
I love when they use
And ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the best in Latin jazz and salsa. Todos los sábados de las 12 hasta las 3 de la tarde. Yours truly, Sweet Hidalgo, Miguelito el Guido Lebron, and Miss Elo in the house, bringing it to you live, long, strong, and hard. You had Olvidándote, Hermano Olivera, Eddie Palmieri, bringing it to you live, long, strong, and hard on the Latin Jazz y Salsa Show. No hay otra emisora que toca el tipo de música que se oye aquí todos los sábados, desde las 12 hasta las 3 de la tarde, on WHAP 96.9 FM, 1340 on your AM dial. Estoy en el estudio con mi compañero, mi amigo, and part owner, Mr. Quan Jasper of Oasis Broadcasting Network. It is an honor to have you in the studio, sir.
Thank you. It feels honorable.
You know, it is really cool to have a guy like you in the studio. And to get from behind the scenes in front of the mic for the people, you know, and let them know what we are doing and what we're doing at Oasis Broadcasting Network.
We are growing at an exponential rate, both in technology behind the scenes and in front of the mic. Well, here real shortly. We got some exciting things coming down the pike. And I can't wait to bring it to the audience, a larger audience, might I add. We got the new app is coming down. We got a lot of new features and bells and whistles. More ways for us to connect with you and you to connect with us. We got some exciting things going on.
That is fantastic. We're talking in the studio right now with Mr. Quan Jasper, owner of Oasis Broadcasting Network. And how did we get together and get that? ¿Cómo empezamos este viaje de Oasis Broadcasting Network, bro?
Well,
how did it become what it is? Now it's become worldwide. We get people listening in Europe, in the Middle East. What is one of the countries? Qatar?
Djibouti, Qatar, I think is in the Middle East and Northern Africa. Some people say there's no such thing as a Middle East.
I don't believe there's a Middle East. I don't.
I don't want to step on any toes, but I do want to say that out there in that region, whatever you call it, we've got some love, and I appreciate that.
Isn't that cool, man?
That is very cool.
And
everybody loves salsa, though.
Yeah, man. We got listeners in Europe.
Yes.
Es increíble, all over the country.
You know, Richmond is a real transition town. We have it's a college town, multiple colleges, VSU, VUU. I think there's another large,
But you and I met before you and I met.
Yes, a couple of times, actually.
We met before we actually met.
A couple of times.
Is an accomplished salsa dancer. Am I right, Mr. Jasper?
I think they call them salseros.
Salsa, mira, sabe la palabra de cabrón.
No problem. You're forgiven.
Tú eres un salsero, ¿verdad, Juan?
Yes, and I think we Latin Vintage, we performed on your show, on your television show. And it was real interesting. Jalissa Cruz got interviewed, and I didn't even know. I was like, where's this being broadcasted? I'm just performing for the mic and the camera, And
at that time we were doing Ustream television, and it was bought out by IBM.
Yeah, they saw them.
They were one of the very pioneers of internet streaming. Yeah.
And then again, I guess you liked what you saw because you invited us back to perform at the Salsa Festival.
Yes.
You host annually.
Yes.
So that's how it started.
Right.
And even then there was no talk of what this could be.
Right.
And it's, man, first of all, hats off to you for what you've done up until we met.
To the team.
I mean, yeah, but there has to be somebody driving it, behind it. And, don't sell yourself short, You did a great job. You had a lot of help. And God bless the angels that kept us.
Los pajaritos.
Yes, that has passed on and has kept us afloat till we got to this point.
Yeah.
But you did a phenomenal job. And I came in. What did I come in for?
You came in to save the day. We needed technological help, man.
Right, that's right. You needed some help on the festival side, and then it's like, well, have you ever did a show? I'm like, yeah, I'm not too keen on doing a show. You told me, well, neither did I, and then that's how we got the festival going, and then I saw something that needed to be fixed, and I just fixed it.
Do you mean that we have to believe in ourselves?
You do, bro. Every day.
Did we believe in ourselves?
We did. And you know what? Sometimes you need somebody. Sometimes you need a partner to tell you, bro.
Well, then
pick yourself up.
How do we start that off, Quan?
How do we, with some music?
Yeah.
What's a good song?
Let's try it out.
Oh, okay. Música, maestro, por favor.
De un neoyorquino iba peso que valía nada. See me, it's been America's most wanted. Boy, eating good, pollo frito, tostones. Number one worldwide campeones. Yeah, I'm straight from the callejón. I'm working for the chips and cocktail camarones. So on it, dale duro, go hard. Didn't realize until I became a fall. Going through these tiempos complicados. That's why we celebrate a night popping bottles. Mad chicks feeling saucy, pollo guisado. Feel like cook that meat y ten cebollado. Thank Lord for another day of breathing. The only way to achieve it is believing. I'ma survive, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it. Hustle hard, believe in yourself, believe in yourself. I'ma survive, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it. Hustle hard, believe in yourself, believe in yourself. Déjame decirte la historia of the New York hip hop jibarito. Nacido con sabor, sazón, Goya, WEPAA, y no hay ninguno igualito. Sí, tengo mi respeto y mi palabra. Por orgullo vernos unidos. Keep it 100. Esta noche vamos a celebrar. Porque malos tiempos que tuvimos. Watch, with my heart of a lion. I can't stop trying. Porque cuando ve la cara de mi hijo, me hace luchar. With my flow inolvidable. Salsa, hip hop, salvaje. Tum plan, seguimos rumbeando. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. Hustle hard. Believe in yourself, believe in yourself. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. Hustle hard. Believe in yourself, believe in yourself. I'm a survivor.
Believe in yourself. You're listening to the Latin Jazz and Salsa Show. That's one of my favorite artists of all time, hip hop jibarito Ariel Cartagena in the house. I love that song, Believe in Yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself.
Every day.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry I'm blacking you out there, Mr. Kwan.
That's all right, man. It's okay.
Okay. Now, yo no te lo dije. Didn't I say so?
You did.
Didn't I say they're going to do nothing?
Absolutely.
Didn't I say they're going to do nothing about those children, verdad?
You did call it.
¿Verdad? I said that they were going to do nothing. They're going to say, they're going to invent reasons y cosa.
You know
and
what?
those babies, there's nothing that happened. Nothing.
I have a segment or a video that we can run.
You know?
Right after this segment.
You know?
I think it'll hit hard. Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's from Uvalde, Texas.
Yeah, he's from Uvalde. I know.
He had some things to say, and it was quite moving.
To make the loss of these lives matter.
Listen to this, you cabezones.
My
So
wife
canto
and
de
I,
bruto.
my
Idiots.
wife and I, Camilla, we spent most of last week on the ground
he
with
hits you
families
hard
in
in the
Uvalde,
beginning.
Texas. We shared stories,
He hit me.
tears, and memories.
Oh my goodness!
The
I
common
don't know if I
thread,
can stand.
independent of the
to listen
anger
to
and the
this whole-
confusion.
Oh, well, whatever they tell me in the
It was the
studio,
same.
you producers can do what
How
you
can
want.
these families continue
You
to honor
understand? This is Oasis
these
Broadcasting Network.
by
Sweet
keeping the
Louis
dreams
Hidalgo. We
of
have to
these
remember this.
children
This
and
man's
teachers
putting it in the
alive?
proper words.
Again,
Yes.
how
For
can
you
the
don't
loss
forget.
of these lives matter?
How can
Okay.
they matter?
So while we honor and acknowledge the victims, we need to recognize that this time, it seems that something is different. there is a sense that perhaps there's a viable path forward.
I hope so.
Responsible parties in this debate seem to at least be committed to sitting down and having a real conversation about a new and improved path forward. A path that can bring us closer together and make us safer as a country. A path that can actually get something done this time. Camille and I came here to share my stories from my hometown of Uvalde. Came here to take meetings with elected officials on both sides of the aisle. We came here to speak to them, to speak with them, and to urge them to speak with each other. To remind and inspire them that the American people will continue to drive forward the mission of keeping our children safe, because it's more than our right to do so. It's our responsibility to do so. I'm here today in the hopes of applying what energy, reason, and passion that I have into trying to turn this moment into a reality. Because as I said, this moment is different. We are in a window of opportunity right now that we have not been in before. A window where it seems like real change can happen. Uvalde, Texas is where I was born. It's where my mom taught kindergarten less than a mile from Robb Elementary. Uvalde is where I learned to master a Daisy BB gun. That took 2 years before I graduated to a .410 shotgun. Uvalde is where I was taught to revere the power and the capability of the tool that we call a gun. Uvalde is where I learned responsible gun ownership. Now, Uvalde called me on May 24th when I learned the news of this devastating tragedy. I had been out of cellular range, working in the studio all day when I emerged, and messages about a mass shooting in the town I was born in began flooding my inbox. In a bit of shock, I drove home, hugged my children a bit tighter and longer than the night before, and then the reality of what had happened that day in the town I was born in set in. So the next morning, Camilla, myself, the kids, we loaded up the truck and we drove to Uvalde. And when we arrived a few hours later, I got to tell you, even from the inside of our vehicle, you could feel the shock in the town. You could feel the pain, the denial, the disillusion, anger, blame, sadness, loss of lives, dreams halted. We saw ministries, we saw first responders, counselors, cooks, families trying to grieve without it being on the front page news. We met with the local funeral director and countless morticians who hadn't slept since the massacre the day before, because they've been working 24/7 trying to handle so many bodies at once, so many little innocent bodies who had their entire lives still yet to live. And that is there that we met two of the grieving parents, Ryan and Jessica Ramirez. Their 10-year-old daughter, Alethea. She was one of the 19 children that were killed the day before. Now, Alethea, her dream was to go to art school in Paris and one day share her art with the world. Ryan and Jessica were eager to share Alethea's art with us and said if we could share it, that somehow, maybe that would make
at the White House.
Alethea smile in heaven. They told us that showing someone else Alethea's art would in some way keep her alive.
I wonder why.
You're listening to WHAP 96.9 FM, 1340 on your AM dial. It is a sad time when we forget these children. Apparently, our love affair with AR-15s and weapons are more important than the children that you're looking at on my left here. And it's a sorry thing, The guy's only bringing out, he's a town member. He's a citizen, right? He was born and raised at Uvalde,
right?
And if he can't get up there and say and express himself, what can you do?
When a frazzled friend of his came up and said,
people are talking about you. There was a question that they asked one of the senators, and they asked, why do people need assault weapons? And he said, because they got to attack prairie dogs. They got to shoot prairie dogs and wild pigs.
Ryan got a full-time
and
line
that's the reason why you need an
stringing
assault
power
weapon.
lines from pole to pole.
Real good.
And every day
Okay,
since landing that
makes sense to me. I
well-paid
don't
full-time
know.
job, he
If it
reminded
makes sense to
his
you, I
daughter
don't
Lee
know.
did.
I
He
don't
said,
know.
"Girl,
It's
Daddy
like a
gonna
crazy,
spoil you
crazy
now."
world. You know, why does a
Told her every
citizen need
single
an
night.
assault weapon? You guys better
said,
check that out.
Daddy's gonna take you to see.
I mean,
We're forgetting about these children. I don't want to make it about the weapon. I don't want to make it about anything. I want to make it about the
He
children.
didn't get spoiled. His
We're
daughter.
talking about the weapon. We're talking about the politician.
Yeah.
We're talking about the door that didn't open.
get to go to see.
We're talking about the police commissioner.
We also met.
We're talking about next time. This
Anna
is what we'll do.
And Danila,
Next time.
the mom and the
Right?
stepdad of
It shouldn't be a
9-year-old.
next time.
You know?
We're too reactionary.
I think that we have had more
Maite
mass
wanted to
shooting
be a
than there
marine
are days in
biologist.
the year so far.
She was already in contact with
You know,
Corpus
so-
Christi
Yeah.
University of A&M for her
Hey.
future college
the thing
enrollment.
of it
We
is-
don't
is-
want to. How
I
can we
know.
let a small group of
Maite
people
cared for the
control the
environment so
majority?
strongly
Huh?
that when the city
It's
asked her
money.
mother if they could release some
It's
balloons
the
into the sky
NRA.
in
and
her
some people
memory,
like to call
her mom
them
said,
a
"Oh
terrorist
no,
organization.
Maite
That's
wouldn't want
what
to
it
let her."
is. I mean, they have the power
Maite wore
and capital
green
to
high-top
influence.
Converse with
You're listening
heart
to the
she had
Latin
hand drawn on
Jazz
the
and
right
Salsa
toe
show.
because they
The one and
represented
only
her
Sweet
love
Hidalgo.
of nature. Camilla's
Remembering
got
those
these shoes.
beautiful
Can you show
children.
these shoes, please?
You know,
Wore these
Yeah,
every day.
the shoes, man.
That-
green
you know,
Converse.
that's what I'm
With a
doing.
heart on the
I
right
hope
toe.
nobody's taking offense. I wouldn't want to forget
These are the
those
same green
children. I wouldn't
Converse
want people to forget my
on her feet
granddaughter
that turned out to be the only
or
clear
my
evidence that
grandson.
could
Yo que
identify
lo,
her
you know,
at
me lo
the shoot.
protege, Dios mío, you know,
How about that?
right? I wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want them to forget
they
your
wrote a letter.
daughter, your granddaughter, your grandson, your you know.
Mom said if Maite's letter could help
So
someone
why don't we
accomplish her
think
dream,
like that? What
but
happened? We
then
don't
her
have
death would
compassion
an
and
impact.
empathy anymore?
And it
I
would
just don't
mean
understand how anybody
Her
that
dying
has a
had a
child
point, and was it point
that
less?
can't sit and
that it
listen
would
to this man's voice and
Make
hear
the
his
loss
compassion
of her life
Yep.
and
matter.
hear his hurt as he expressed.
letter
I can't imagine
reads,
sitting in that room collecting those stories from those
Marine biologist.
those
People-
I want
families
to pass
affected.
school.
It's
to get
incredible
my
to
dream
me, you
college.
know.
My dream
And then
college
when I look
is
at
in
it, I'm
Corpus
looking at it
Christi
from
by
far.
the
You get
ocean.
through the week, and you come to the studio,
I
and
need
I
to live
remember I
next
go
to
look.
the
I look
ocean
at my
because
screen,
I
and
wanna
there are
be
the
a
pictures
marine
of those
biologist.
children. What am I supposed to do?
Marine biologists study
okay,
animals
remove the
and the
snapshot
water.
from your
Most of the
screen.
time, I will be in a lab.
That's what it is. The remove.
Sometimes
In
I
order
will
for
be
me to
on
forget
TV.
the children, all I have to do is hit delete. Is that what it is?
It's not
Here's
so
Ellie
easy for those
Garcia.
families.
Huh?
It's not even that
And
easy
her
for those
parents, Stephen
communities
and Jennifer.
affected. Because everybody's
Ellie
affected.
loved to dance and she loved
It's
church.
not that easy.
She even knew
and
how
I
to drive
think
tractors and
we
was
live in
already
a
working with
out
her
of
dad
sight,
and
out of
her
mind
uncle
society.
mowing yards.
Once it's out of view, out of vision,
Ellie was
you
always
forget.
giving of her gifts,
Yeah,
her time,
I'm trying to say.
even
I
half-eaten
don't like
food
it
on her
like
plate.
this no more. I wish
They said.
things weren't like this.
Said around the house,
You're listening to the Latin Jazz
called
and
her the
Salsa
Great
Show,
Regifter.
WHAP,
I'm hopeful though.
96.9
smiling
FM,
through tears, her family
1340
told
on
us how
AM
Ellie
dial.
loved to embrace.
Ha-ha.
Said she was the biggest hugger in the family. Now, Ellie,
Uno por uno con educación, impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición. Uno por uno con educación, impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición.
Cuando quiero aprender, muchas veces para mí solo tengo que estudiar lo que pasa en el mundo. Hace poco aprendí que el SIDA está acabando y no quise yo creer que tan mal está pasando. Esta triste realidad nos puede a todos matar. A toda la información prestémosle atención. Mucho se puede hacer contra esta maldición.
Uno por uno con educación, impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición.
Yo estoy aquí ahora para informarles que esta enfermedad, caballero, no tiene fronteras, que no.
Uno por uno con educación, impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición.
No podemos seguir nuestra dependencia sobre otra gente para nuestra existencia.
Uno por uno con educación, impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición.
yo no me cuido, ¿quién me va a cuidar? Yo me tengo que educar sobre este mar y tú verás.
Impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición.
Yo conozco gente que se han mantenido, no se han perdido, para adelante han seguido.
Uno por uno con educación. Impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición.
Tenemos que romper nuestra ignorancia, no queremos ni conversar cuando en casa nos pasa.
Uno por uno con educación. Impacto tendremos sobre esta maldición.
Cuando tiene que ver con hacer el amor, vamos a ser responsables, usemos protección. Te llamé, pues no soporto esta pena, este dolor que me mata, esta distancia que quema. Vuelve a mí, resuélveme mi problema. Sentir que te tengo cerca, sabiendo que te me alejas. Son estas cuatro paredes y el vacío en esta cama, soñando que aquí te tengo y solo abrazo mi almohada. Es la noche traicionera que me recuerda sus besos. Siento que pierdo la vida y ya no soporto eso. Ven porque te necesito, que si no regresas no puedo vivir. Vuelve que si no te tengo siento que de pena me voy a morir. Te llamé, pues no soporto esta pena. Ahora que la noche es triste y que la luna está llena, vuelve a mí y quítame este problema. Este de sentirte lejos es para mí una condena. Son estas cuatro paredes y el vacío en esta cama, soñando que aquí te tengo y solo abrazo mi almohada. Es la noche traicionera que me recuerda sus besos. Siento que pierdo la vida y ya no soporto eso. Ven porque te necesito, que si no te tengo no puedo vivir. Vuelve que si no te tengo de pena me verán morir. Llámame, pues no soporto esta pena. Ven, alivia esta pena de amor que consume, que duele, que mata y que quema. Llámame, pues no soporto esta pena. Quiero volver a navegar en tus aguas, revolcarnos en la arena. Llámame, pues no soporto esta pena. Ahora que la noche es triste y que la luna está llena. Llámame, pues no soporto esta pena. Ya no soporto este frío. Quiero tu cuerpo fundiéndose al mío. Llámame, pues no soporto esta pena. Oye, ya que no me quitas penas, no me las vengas a dar. Ese es Jan, el compay, y como pita. que quema. Tengo el corazón hecho pedazos y tú sigues sin hacerme caso. Negrita, qué pena. Ay, 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 este dolor que me mata. Me mata, me mata, me mata, me mata este dolor. Tu ausencia me arrebata. Ay, 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 esta distancia que quema. Como molesta, como hiere, como duele, como quema. Ay, ay, ay. El recuerdo de esa morena. Ay, ay, ay. Que se fue y me dejó penando. Ay, ay, ay. Sí, entre cuatro paredes pensando. Ay, ay, ay. Dime tú si merezco esta condena. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ven, ven, alivia mis penas. Añoro ir a un salón para bailar con una chica sin igual. El contagioso y rico cha-cha-cha. Quisiera viajar antaño y en el Palladium presenciar una orquesta que vaya entonando un cha-cha-cha para así vacilar. Lloro ir a un salón para bailar con una chica sin igual. El contagioso y rico cha-cha-cha. Quisiera ver una chica con un cuerpo escultural que mueva su cinturita al compás de este ritmo que es para gozar. Lloro ir a un salón para bailar con una chica sin igual. El contagioso y rico cha-cha-cha. Quisiera que no fuera un sueño, quisiera hacerlo realidad. Que todos bailen con empeño la canción que les vengo a cantar, mi cha-cha. Uy, ajá. Ahora sí.
marca bien el paso y tú verás que tú vas a ver. Afíncate, afinca, afinca, afíncate.
You're listening to the Latin Jazz and Salsa Show, WHAP 96.9 FM, 1340 on your AM dial. No hay otra emisora que toca el tipo de música que se oye aquí on WHAP. Síguelo, mi gente, with the 96.9 crew on www.thelatinjazzandsalsashow.com. The one and only Latin Jazz and Salsa Show, bringing you the best in Latin jazz and salsa for the past 18 years en el aire. You dig it? I got you.
De mi Cuba y guaguancó, guaguancó. Cántalo mi socio sin descansar y todo el mundo lo bailará. Todos los barrios en La Habana a coro dicen que el guaguancó siempre es la ley. Todos los barrios en La Habana a coro gritan que el guaguancó siempre es la ley. Hey, bailalo, gózalo, la ley del guaguancó. Monfort y vaya la rumba buena. Aquí te traigo mi guaguancó como suena. Bailalo, gózalo, la ley del guaguancó. Abanecue, 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 abanecue. Aquí te canto mi guaguancó sabrosón. Bailalo, gózalo, la ley del guaguancó. Monfort y vaya la rumba buena. Aquí te traigo mi guaguancó como suena. Bailalo, gózalo, la ley del guaguancó. Yo soy la ley, yo soy la ley del guaguancó para que goce. Bailalo, gózalo, la ley del guaguancó. Guaguancó, guaguancó, coro millares. Tiene que bailarlo al compás de la clave. Bailalo, gózalo, la ley del guaguancó. Abran paso, caballero. Llegó la ley del guaguancó. Ajá, mira cómo dice. Soy la ley, yo soy la ley del guaguancó para que gocen. Baila, 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 que sabroso el guaguancó. Tito Rodríguez cantaba y Olivera se lo improvisó bien sabroso. La ley del guaguancó, yo soy la ley del guaguancó, cómo no. Abran paso, caballero.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Cuando yo sentía que el amor moría, te encontré un buen día. Cuando yo creía no tener de nuevo una opción de amor, tú llegaste a mi vida que solo tenía un mundo de agonía y te convertiste en lo más importante aquí en mi corazón. Supiste llenar ese gran vacío que experimentaba. Cuando no esperaba que nadie llegara, a mí llegó tu amor. Tú le diste el aliento que había perdido, me diste esperanza y te convertiste en lo más importante aquí en mi corazón. Y te convertiste en lo más importante en mi corazón.
Llegaste cuando no esperaba y te convertiste en mi verdadera felicidad.
Cambiaste el sufrimiento, el dolor y la agonía que azotaban a mi alma herida y los volviste alegrías.
Tú llegaste cuando no esperaba y te convertiste en mi verdadera felicidad.
Desde hoy en adelante es mi promesa hacia ti, quererte, amarte, cuidarte y velar que seas feliz.
Me sentí morir sin un amor y tú llegaste.
Con tu llegada le devolviste a mi vida lo que había perdido antes.
Me sentí morir sin un amor y tú llegaste.
Respeto, estima y dignidad, más volver a valorarme.
Me sentí morir sin un amor y tú llegaste.
Para mí eres una gema, el más valioso diamante.
Me sentí morir sin un amor y tú llegaste.
Diamante que puliré con esmero y tallaré con gran arte.
Llegaste tú,
La, la, oh, lo, la.
llegaste tú,
Eres lo que yo soñaba.
llegaste tú,
Cambias tinieblas por luz.
llegaste tú.
Y hoy te brindo mi gratitud.
Lo más importante, el man Olivera will be in Richmond, Virginia, agosto 27 at the 15th Annual Latin Jazz and Salsa Show Festival. There is no show like this show around this show, the one and only Latin Jazz and Salsa Show. No se lo pierdan, mi gente, que van a gozar tremendamente at August the 27th, agosto 27, at the 15th annual Latin Jazz and Salsa Show, mi gente. It is going to be off the hook, off the chain, off the plane, off everything. Sweet Luis Hidalgo and the team, Miguelito El Guido Lebrón, Miss Elo, Juan Jasper, Jimmy Castro, put together tremenda publicación, tremenda, como decir, tema, con tremenda entertainment, como se dice en Spanglish, the one and only 15th annual, la quinceañera, como se dice, on the Latin Jazz and Salsa Show. This show is produced and sponsored by Master and Sons Plumbing. Master and Sons Plumbing, second generation of fine service. Let the masters do it right. 804-323-0202, 323-0202. If you want the job done, hey, call Master and Sons Plumbing, your plumbing and drain cleaning experts, masterandsonsplumbing.com. We've only been doing it for 18 years, and I ain't got it right yet. Thank you, Master and Sons Plumbing, for being our major sponsor for the past 18 años. If you want the job done, call Master and Sons Plumbing. No se olviden a llamar su plomero latino preferido, 804-323-0202, 323-0202. Trabajo con garantía, 24 horas al día. Master and Sons Plumbing, your plumbing and drain cleaning experts, masterandsonsplumbing.com. There is no show. Latin Heartbeat Orchestra. Mi padre, un trabajador.
Mi padre quedó huérfano siendo un niño y sin dudas le faltó de sus padres su cariño. Pero eso no le detuvo el caminar, aunque fue dura su vida, porque tuvo que emigrar. Y regresó para con mi madre formar una familia, un hogar, del que el producto soy yo. Por eso hoy le dedico esta canción a la memoria de todo aquel que es un luchador, como mi padre, que a esta nación emigró para cuidar de los suyos con esfuerzo y gran valor. Porque mi viejo, aunque partió con el Señor, nos enseñó con su ejemplo lo que es un trabajador. Porque mi viejo, aunque partió con el Señor, nos enseñó con su ejemplo lo que es un trabajador. Hoy le canto con amor a mi padre porque fue un trabajador. Haber quedado de niño huérfano no le impidió que se labrara el futuro y solito lo logró. Se bajó. Hoy le canto con amor a su esfuerzo y su sudor.
Mi padre fue un trabajador.
Con el oficio de pintar,
Mi padre fue un trabajador.
este fue el legado que nos dio.
Mi padre fue un
Desde el cielo te pido, papito, la bendición.
WHAP, the Latin Heartbeat Orchestra, un padre trabajador, Willie Mendoza in the house, bringing it to you live, long, strong, and hard on WHAP. No hay otra emisora que toca el tipo de música que se oye aquí todos los sábados de las 12 hasta las 3 de la tarde, mi gente. Su servidor, Sweet Lou, Miguelito and Miss Hilo, estamos trabajando duro para el festival agosto 27. No se lo pierdan, mi gente, que van a gozar tremendamente. Como se la ha habido en esta esquina, el Man Olivera, pesando 205 libras. En la otra esquina, el único, the one and only, Rafael Ortiz y su tumbao Urbano All-Stars. En la otra esquina, Edwin Pérez, pesando 200 libras. En la otra esquina, Sweet Louis Hidalgo, pesando 300 libras. That's right, I said it. You're listening to the one and only Latin Jazz and Salsa show. There is no show like this show around the show. Sweet Louis Hidalgo bringing it to you live, long, strong, and hard on the Latin Jazz and Salsa show. I like that music. Mira, está tremendo, Mr. Willie Mendoza and the Latin Heartbeat Orchestra. You guys got it going on. It's so nice. I got to play another one. Lo afortunado que soy. And I wonder who's that from. That one goes from Mr. Jimmy Castro. Yeah, buddy. Go ahead.
Gracias te doy por el apoyo brindado que la música me dio. Esto es un sueño logrado. Gracias te doy por el apoyo brindado que la música me dio. Esto es un sueño logrado.
Qué orgulloso yo me siento, vivencias de mi niñez, las palabras de un maestro, del cubano Don Miguel, que hablaba de su cultura, de la esencia de su tierra, la música de su gente, el legado de mi Cuba. Escuchando fui creciendo, cultivando salsa pura.
Gracias te doy por el apoyo brindado que la música me dio. Esto es un sueño logrado. Gracias te doy por el apoyo brindado que la música me dio. Esto es un sueño logrado.
Historias que me ayudaron, aquel hombre me impulsó, él fue quien me influenció con sus consejos dorados. Ese músico anhelado a lo que soy hoy por hoy, para viva dedicado esta gran inspiración. Las gracias le doy a Dios, la misión ya se cumplió.
Gracias te doy por el apoyo brindado que la música me dio. Esto es un sueño logrado. Gracias te doy por el apoyo brindado que
Ella vive contigo, es tu amiga, es tu mujer, es tu esposa y es tu amante. Ella es toda un cuerpo fiel, no le causes angustia, no le hagas padecer. Piensa que en algún momento tu madre pudo ser, porque es mujer y merece respeto, y a ti te entregó la pureza de su vientre, y tienes que estar pendiente de los detalles. Llévala al cine, un ramo de flores, junto con ella, la comida, la cama, con mucha ternura, pero con mucha dulzura, porque ella merece, le gusta. Acuérdate en el tiempo que eran novios, la llevabas a toque, la invitabas a comer, la sacabas a bailar. Mujer, ahora no puedes cambiar tu forma de ser. Cada rato la llamabas y por ella preguntabas, muchas veces fastidiabas, sin motivo la celabas. Ahora no puedes cambiar tu forma de ser. Llévala al cine, un ramo de flores, junto con ella, la comida, la cama, con mucha ternura, pero con mucha dulzura, porque ella merece que la trates así. Acuérdate en el tiempo que eran novios, la llevabas a toque, la invitabas a comer, la sacabas a bailar. Era tu única mujer, ahora no puedes cambiar tu forma de ser. Cada rato la llamabas y por ella preguntabas, muchas veces fastidiabas, sin motivo la celabas. Ahora no puedes cambiar tu forma de ser. Un consejo te doy, en todo corazón. Corazón de león. Es un campeón, no tiene nada que ver, pero llévala al cine, un ramo de flores, junto con ella, la comida, la cama, con mucha ternura, con mucha dulzura, porque a ella le gusta que la trates así. Acuérdate en el tiempo que eran novios, la llevabas al hotel. ¡Epa! ¿Qué pasó? Tu única mujer, ahora no puedes cambiar tu forma de ser. Cada rato la llamabas y por ella preguntabas, muchas veces fastidiabas, sin motivo la celabas. Ahora no puedes cambiar tu forma de ser. Acuérdate que todavía es tu novia.
He perdido todo, ya no tengo nada. Lo único que yo hice fue quererte. Ahora me echas por la ventana y ni siquiera me miras de frente. Es que de este amor ya no queda nada. Ahora tú vas a ver lo que se siente. Amar a alguien que no te ama, te voy a que te arrepientes. cabrón. Ese Nicky ya, díselo. He perdido todo, ya no tengo nada. Lo único que yo hice fue quererte. Ahora me echas por la ventana. Ni siquiera me miras de frente. Es que de este amor ya no queda nada. Tú vas a ver lo que se siente. Para alguien que no te ama, te voy a que te arrepientes. De este amor no queda nada. De este amor no queda nada. No queda nada. De este amor no queda nada. No queda nada. De este amor no queda nada. De este amor no queda nada. Yo, Nicky Jam, yo. De este amor no queda nada. No queda nada. De este amor no queda nada. India, tú sabes que estás en broma, mami. Yo te quiero mucho.
yo lo sé.
Chula.
Chula yo. One love, one love.
Es que de este amor ya